Hello everyone, my name is Kaylin Bosky and today we're on the set of Chasing Humans, and we actually brought in the cast today to answer some of our questions before the show's release. So the first question I have for you guys today is, can you explain to our viewers what the show is actually about?
The show, I would say, is about how friends deal and struggle with tragic events and how it tears them apart.
Can you all introduce yourself and the character that you played?
Yeah, I'm Brittany Dugan, and I played the character of Haley.
I'm Christian Barba, and I play Parker.
I'm Caitlin Suico, and I play the character Brooke.
I'm Joe Mariano, and I play Emmett.
I'm Elena Williams, and I play Beth.
I'm Tyler Vidant, and I play Josh.
Awesome. Well, it's nice to meet all of you. So what was the process of filming this series like?
Well, it was definitely interesting. It wasn't one of those web series where you get the whole script for everything up front. We kind of got them on a per episode basis. So that was definitely an interesting part of how we would prepare for each episode and coming in and working as actors.
We were always on edge about like who's about to like go off or who's about to die. So it was like it was so fun to just like enjoy like having your time on set because you knew anytime you could just go.
Yeah, and I guess just not having the script beforehand kind of adds a little bit of it takes a little bit of pressure off because you're just there in the moment. You're just and really just trying to focus on what's happening now.
What are some of your favorite moments from filming?
They can go either way when you're coming together with a bunch of people. So you could either be like, oh, this is gonna be a long 2 months. But I think we all got along, our personalities matched, and we just knocked that first scene out really, really quick. There was laughs all around. We really gelled, I'd say.
What is one thing that you think the audience should know before they start watching this series?
I would say I think everybody will find a character that they can just relate to. We all have a certain distinct personality, a certain distinct trait that you'll just instantly connect, like, oh, I was that person in high school, or I'm that person now, that you'll get attached to.
Yeah.
Just don't get too attached.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think everyone should always not fall in love with characters because you never know what's going to happen next, and I think that's what really keeps it suspenseful and wanting to watch more.
How is your guys' relationship with the creators of this series?
Definitely the freedom to kind of improv certain things. Like if there was a line that when we were going through it, it just didn't really feel right. There wasn't like a backup line. Like we had the ability to kind of feel out how we felt our character would speak in their own skin in that sense. So that was definitely something that I enjoyed personally, like working with this director and everybody else behind the scenes as well. Because most directors you work with may not want to let you do that, but here there was definitely that creative freedom, and I think I can attest for everyone that that's something we as actors like to do. So
how is this series different from some of the other projects you guys have been working on?
you're not just coming in on a weekend or something for like a short film, whereas in those I don't feel like I get to really feel myself in the character, like become that character. So here, working on this project for like a span of 2 months, I really got to, feel myself becoming Josh.
Normally for like an actor's process, you get the script, at least 3 weeks ahead of time. You have time to like, I'm gonna break this script down, I'm gonna make sure I know the ins and out of this character. So it was interesting as an actor's process to be like, okay, I have 3 days. this is what I know, this is what I'm working with, this is my scene. So it's almost like a challenge to yourself. Yeah. So I felt like we were all challenged in a way to see, like, let me see if I can act. Let me see if I can be an actor. Mm-hmm. So I had a good time with that. Surprised myself.
For me, this is really my first project. So a lot of the challenges, I had to work through because I never really had to memorize the script. I never really had to learn certain emotions or how to portray them. So it's definitely a challenge, what Elena was saying, 3 days to look at it and do it. Mm-hmm. It was incredibly fun. I love that challenge.
When we first got the scripts and when we first found out about the project, when we got casted as our roles, we kind of weren't sure like how, I remember I was talking to Christian and we weren't like sure how this is going to go out, how this is going to play out, because we had like nothing. We just had the first script. The way that the directors and the crew like made it, it was a fun experience, and it wasn't like, oh, I got stuck in this project and I'm not enjoying it.
After each episode, we'd have these like guessing games, you know, about
Yeah.
what was next episode going to be, what kind of scripts, and coming up with some of the ideas that actually may have been spot on and may have been totally off, but it was fun to see actually what came next.
So what were you guys' opinions on the end of the season?
I think like we all dabbled around like each character, thinking it was the ending. Are we allowed to say there's a killer? I personally was at home like constantly thinking about this. This is on my brain. Like I was like trying to connect the dots and like make a layout and everything. You know, like in those crime scenes when they have the like the string. Yeah.
Pegboard.
So I was constantly like thinking of new ideas of like the reasoning behind this, and then like why this happened or why this character was acting weird. Just stuff like that.
The ending, I don't think any of us could have predicted the ending, you know, and I think that, what ended up happening, man, you guys are gonna be in for a surprise.
I wasn't always thinking about like my character. I was thinking about what other characters were thinking and doing. So I wasn't, as an actor, I wasn't even just dabbling in myself, in my character. I was thinking about everybody and why everybody's doing specific things. It was definitely a challenge, but I think, yeah, the ending was very, unpredictable. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, the ending to me was a shock. I'm still shocked.
Period.
Like the ending for me, when we first all met, they had us, kind of predict what we think would happen in the end. My prediction was way off, so I was very surprised what actually happened, and I think everyone else will be too.
So how did you guys each personally relate to the character that you guys played?
Yeah, I'm Tyler and I played Josh. One thing I'll say about Josh is when I read for the character, I thought immediately I had what I felt about Josh. He was definitely more of like an ass. And I'm not an ass. I don't feel like I'm an ass. But I guess I'm an ass. But I was typecasted for this role. But yeah, so playing Josh the way I initially felt about him, while doing so, I realized there was actually more to the character than what most people would see, like just from his exterior. And I kind of related that with in a sense because, as someone that's like pretty outgoing and stuff, like anybody, we all deal with things on the inside as well. So I definitely got to take a little bit of who I am to put into that. And actually try to display, what might be going on the inside of Josh rather than just this harsh exterior, so.
So I played Beth, and I think that she is insensitive at times, which I try to be more sensitive than her. So I think I try to bring my actual sweetness into Beth, and I think her boldness is more of what I am as a person. I'm a little like her bold-wise, but I'm not as, I would say I'm not as out there. I would just put it like that, as her.
No, I think with Emmett and I, we're alike in the way where he just moves on and keeps going, which I really like about the character and kind of relate to that.
My character was Brooke, and I think she was put on like the back burner a lot. She was kind of put in situations that she didn't want to be in, and that it made her look bad. But I think I've had like a few of those situations where it kind of like hit me that this character I am attached to. I feel like this is me, and I feel like I've been through this before.
I think there's differences and then there's similarities, and like Parker rides a bike and I don't ride bikes, and like but at the end of the day, we also all have things that that we're insecure about, and I think that that's something that I guess I relate to with Parker, who can be insecure, I think.
My character Haley, I would say she is kind of that snarky, put on a front. I guess I am kind of sarcastic, but I have made friends here, so I didn't lose them.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming out and answering all of my questions. And we want to thank you too for viewing this. And make sure you follow all of the social media for Chasing Humans to stay up to date on BTS content that they have out and more updates coming for the show. Thank you so much for watching, guys.